Man, this is absolutely crazy. So this monitor is ridiculous. I've got my son on the right of me playing Xbox Series X, QHD, 120 hertz. All right, playing Halo Infinite. I am on the left playing God of War PC, QHD, max settings, 120 frames per second. I'm talking about butter smooth fluid. Now, obviously, in a realistic scenario, one person's not going to be playing two games, but when you think about from a productivity perspective, your ability to just do so much on this monitor, it's just crazy, man. Let's talk about some of the possibilities right after this intro. All right, man, got to get this content banged out, man. So look, the first video, if you haven't seen, I got this thing, and I didn't really feel like I needed to give it an unboxing treatment. I'm really excited to use this thing, and it's been beautiful. Out the box, this particular model needs to be soft calibrated, so you need to go through, adjust the settings. Every person's taste is going to be different. I like a bright, vivid picture on a monitor, okay? TVs, I like to look more realistic because I'm watching content, but I like things to look sharp and bright and cartoony on the desktop. This thing is interesting, man. 49 inches. The resolution is 5160 by 1440. Looks really good. It looks better than I thought it would. 5120 by 1440. So initially, what I didn't like about it was that every single game out the box is not designed for it. For example, if you play like God of War on PC, which just came out, love it, phenomenal game. It's got a 21:9 aspect ratio. This particular model is 32:9. So you get about this much screen real estate on the actual game. So you're still met with black bars. However, there's some software that does enable you to, this is called flawless widescreen. This enables you access to an array of games. And within it, you know, it pretty much modifies or forces aspect ratio that meets what you actually have, right? God of War happens to be one of the games on there. So whomever developed this flawless widescreen, I appreciate you. And they've got an array of different titles that are single player games that I think would be phenomenal. So if you happen to get something like this, it's cool, because lately I've been on like this vintage kick to play older games. And so going through the list, literally this gives me a list of games that supports this software, right? And so within it, I'm seeing so many titles that I'm like, I haven't played it. Like I never played, I never played Dead Rising 2 or Dead Rising 3. I played Dead Rising 1, but yeah, I'm going to play Dead Rising 2 and Dead Rising 3 now. So it's a lot of titles that I'm just looking at like, yeah, these are games that I should probably go ahead and do. The Final Fantasy VII Remake, I didn't even notice that was on here. So like, yeah, I made a video about it, but I have not still played this game. So this is going to be really interesting for me to test out some different titles. So I'm actually going to try to run Resident Evil 6 because it's a part of this mod. But get it going and I'll flash right back to you. All right, so what is it like actually gaming in ultra wide? Well, let me tell you, if the software is done right, then it's pretty nice. This is Resident Evil 4. This is on PC. Man, so this software that I just showed in the previous clip has a video fix. So for the, for the clips, the cutscenes and things like that, you have, man, it's been a while since I played this. I'm so used to playing this on Oculus. I have it on a Quest. This has been fixed where all the video cutscenes and things like that are going to be in ultra wide, and it just looks phenomenal. Like everything is just like you just see so much more.
Excuse me, sir?
So like even this would have been a clip. Normally this would have been like a kind of a box, but they got it all set where everything is, man, it's just, obviously this is an older title, but man, it's pretty impressive. It's really immersive is the best way to really describe it. It's just super immersive. Like,
there was a hostile local. I had no choice but to neutralize him. There's still others surrounding the area.
Get out of there and head toward the village.
so like even in this case, it's all utilized. Like I thought it was black bars, but their name is on the left when they're speaking. So yeah.
Slow you down.
Then there's Resident Evil 6, game that many didn't like. I wasn't so impressed with it, but I did deeply enjoy it. Bought it a couple times, bought it on Xbox 360. A couple of times I enjoyed the Mercenaries play on it. But this is, it's working with an ultra wide fix from the same software. So it's one of the things I like about PC. You do have the ability to play in different aspect ratios, things like that. So you can kind of go back and play another game and enjoy it. So just again, covering, you know, what it's like to play with an ultra wide. Like I said, you can see more. So it's just more enjoyable, real theatrical, like kind of like going to an IMAX cinema. Oh, I was having some issues getting this game to load, but I realized that I had the refresh rate running at 240 hertz and I had to run it at 60. So there's things like that you will have to play around with. It's not just direct plug and play, but the more options sometimes can lead to some frustrations if you're not patient with looking into resolve. But yeah, it's just pretty cool playing this. Something I might have to revisit again. There's a select collection of games that you're gonna want to play on the ultra wide. A lot of single player games, in my opinion. I don't know that I would really want to play games at a professional level, like first person shooters, but definitely being able to see more. Like I said, it's more immersive. All right, man, and so everything's not going to work. Everything's not going to be ultra wide. So this is Final Fantasy VIII, the remastered version on PC. And so as you can see, I'm pretty much stuck in my 16:9 aspect ratio, even though the game actually reads from the initial settings that I'm 5120 by 1440, which would be the entire spectrum of the 49-inch screen. And I personally, even though this game is been remastered, it's still in its PlayStation 2 pixelation. I think that a game like this would be perfect, right? Like I'm on the world map, and instead of me having to pan left and pan right, you know, like if this was ultra wide, like if I was right here, I would already see this whole situation. Like, so there'd be so much more real estate for me to see without me having to pan left and right. So although you wish that everything would just work, it's not worth it for everything. So you really kind of have to have your ducks in a row and understand what you're getting into if you buy a monitor like this. So you don't buy it with the expectations that everything is just going to work natively for it, because that's just not the case. All right, man. So to wrap this video up, let me just talk to you about what my end game is. The monitor is lovely. I love it. Looks beautiful. Plays great. The 240 hertz refresh rate is amazing. The QHD resolution is great. It being 5120 by 1440 means it is 2560 by 1440 times 2. So the next biggest thing with ultra wide or super ultra wide has to be dual 4K. That would be amazing. It's got to be coming. It's got to be coming down the pipeline. You can expect to see more content going forward on this monitor, but my end game is going to be to put the 2022 42 or 48 inch LG C2 OLED on that desk. It's going to replace that monitor. But for now, it's going to be some content shot around it, some games enjoyed, it's just a different experience. And from a productivity perspective, like I said, it being a wider aspect ratio, you're going to be able to see a lot more. So if you guys do have questions, any in-depth questions about what it's like to run that, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I'll be sure to read them at all times. I'll be sure to respond as soon as I can. But so far, I just wanted to put something together to kind of give you a gist of what it's like to be able to play and use a monitor like that. Thank you for the support. Max love.